Just walking outside to work on the FC. Back on that. Crawler looking good. I don't have a handle for the GoPro because I don't know where I put it. I was not going to record any of this, but I'm kind of doing some exciting things, so I thought I would just do a little bit of recording. But FC's in here. This might have major issues, which will be fucked, but I usually say you'll have to wait and see, but I'll update when it's appropriate or when I know things. But looks like it's got some major issues possibly, so that's not cool. But I need to clear the defect first before anything worse happens. So it still runs and drives all right. Just got the new exhaust done on it by Primal, so I might try and get an exhaust clip of that. We'll see. Yeah, so trying to clear the defect. They just gave me a list of 3 things, so pretty good. Obviously, could probably get me on more if they wanted, but you know, is what it is. So too low, easy, raise it up. He knew that. He said that to me. He goes, you can just raise it up. Yeah, and I said, yep. So too low, which was obvious. He didn't even get the wheel out. I said, okay, fair enough, whatever. Plus it was on grass, so as if that would have worked anyway. Too low, exposed pod filter, which the rules are very confusing. It was bolted down, it was mounted, so it wasn't like it was loose or anything. Still that. So exposed pod filter, apparently it's meant to be in a box, but it's non-oiled, which I don't think it needs to be, but then maybe they all do now. The rules have changed, who knows? Everyone knows Vic Road's website isn't very good and it doesn't tell you everything. But I've just bought one of these. SAS filter. Comes with a nice fun toy to play with. Ooh. It's actually quite a nice pipe and it stays to shape, so it's kind of cool. So you can like bend it in whatever shape you want and it kind of holds it, like if you shake it a bit. You know, it's pretty good, so that's cool. Got that. Woo, woo, woo. So I just bought that because that's enclosed, so it can't be more enclosed than that, right? Like a stock filter isn't. So, oh, there it is over there. But I've got shit apart, so whatever. And the third thing he got me on, which I thought was really strange, he got me on not having a surround on the column. So that's the steering column. My car has never had a surround on here because before I bought the car, the previous owner drove it to his mum's house one night, stayed there. I assumed there was like a party or something, they were drinking, whatever. Did the responsible thing, stayed at his mum's house, and someone tried to steal the car. So I've never had a surround on there. Hello. Oh, what do you want? Hello. So it's never had a surround on there. He did replace the keys and all that because the locks were broken. Yeah, I've never had a surround on there, but because Mazda is one of the best companies, they sell a lot of new parts. So I picked up upper surround, which is that bit, goes on top. I've already put on the lower surround, which is kind of cool. And one of the reasons I decided to film this was that I worked out it's got a light in here. So since I bought this car, I've had a little Tupperware full of random bolts and stuff. And there was a light not too dissimilar from this. That's obviously like a instrument cluster light, but a light similar to that, which had, like, it was smaller and had a little 2 wires running off it. And I always thought it was a throttle position, like a TPS, throttle position sensor tester is what I thought it was, because there's these little light boxes you can get to test them. But no, it was a light for in here. So that's it here. If you can see, let me get the light. So yeah, that's the lower cluster. As you can see, there's the light in it. The orange bit, that's actually a little bit of clear plastic. And then I'll put this up here if I can. Here's my new torch. It's pretty. Oh, it's got bolts stuck to it. That's why it won't work. Shoving bolts into my roof. It's cool. Put that on the peachy sticker. Yeah, let me see if you can see this. So there's just 2 little wires there, and they go into a little box, which you can see just there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you can see that. Pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm not sure if I did it or previous owner, or it just got shoved down. The wires were shoved way down in there, so I had to get under and push them up. But I was like, that's sick. I like that. Pretty cool. It's like my little random little mods that I do to the Corolla that make it just a nicer place to live in. So lower surround, brand new from Mazda, and the top. So both of those brand new. They're all black, so it suits the car. Should be a similar texture to something, but whatever. There's a few different textures in here by the looks of it. But that was about 240 bucks, brand new. So it's expensive, but for brand new parts, especially plastic, that these would all just break off for sure. So I've got that ready to go on there. I've just chucked a couple bolts in that to hold it. I've also, which I thought was quite exciting, I have tapped into here a M5. No, now it's gone forever. Goodbye. Oh my God. Oh, there it is. Fuck. All right, I've tapped a M5 screw or bolt into here. And then I did some with a thread and then to check it. And then just chuck this bad boy in here, which I got from, this is just another little Aldi tool. I like to get them when they come up. They're usually pretty cheap and they're not great, but usually they'll get little jobs like this done. And yeah, just tap that in, which is cool, man. Instead of putting a big screw in there or something and whatever, you know, but that's cool. So I've got that ready to go on. And the other things I've got to fix. So I'm going to raise up the front just a little bit more because I'm a bit worried that it's just going to clear, which I don't want. I want it to have enough space under it. Yeah, it's got the new exhaust in it. Sounds way better. It actually has a tone now instead of just being loud and brrr. So it actually has like a nice noise to it now. Yeah, that's it. I wasn't going to film any of this, but there you go. We'll try to get this defect cleared because anything worse happens to the car, you know, I don't want to have the rego cancelled. So I just need to get it cleared as soon as possible. Cage is in finally. So Primal did that as well. So if you need any fab work, hit up Primal Garage on Instagrams. But yeah, no, it's come up very cool, man. Yeah, like Cop was also saying, oh, you got battery in the back. I'm like, it's an interior battery, mate. Like, he's just saying heaps of random shit, like, to be honest. Like, he even said, oh, is that engineered? He was pointing in the back window. I'm like, what engineered? What are you talking about? He goes, oh, the suspension in the back. And I said, it's just a strut brace. Like, it doesn't need to be engineered. It's a brace. It does probably nothing. Just looks cool. Yeah, I don't know. Just sometimes they fuck with you a bit, I reckon, but yeah, he was complaining about there was loose stuff in here. So I usually have the buckets on here that cover, but I only have the frames because I found them real cheap one day. So I got some broken frames that had been fixed up previously. You know, they're all right and they keep your stuff in there and make the car a bit neater, but I always wanted to build lids. And he's like, oh, you got loose stuff in there. I'm like, what do you think is going to bounce out of there? And oh, I don't know, just whatever. But I'll keep going with this. Might show you when it's done. There we go, all done. Managed to get 4 bolts in it. Looks nice. Put this up. Let's have a look. It's all the way up. Yeah, it's very snazzy. I like it. So one thing about stuff like this is, even though it's a pain, there's a lot of money as well. I try to find a silver lining in everything, and silver lining of this is that my car does look a bit better. It's a bit nicer, it's a bit better, it'll be a bit nicer to be in and be around. Looks a bit better, looks more finished. So, you know, that's a silver lining of it that made the car a little bit better. But yeah, even though you don't want to do things like this and, like, you know, you try to find something good in it. Yeah, the rest of it's pretty bloody dirty, but that bit looks good now. I want to see if the light works. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, you can see that on camera. Let's get it even better. Oh, look at that. That's actually pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. I've never had a light there. Didn't even know there was meant to be one. That's cool. Things we do for love. much quieter in here. You can actually hear yourself think now. So currently on the way to get the defect cleared. As showed previously, had to lift it up. Had to put a surround around the wheel, or the steering column, and change the pod filter. So hopefully it passes. I'm a bit concerned about the engine health at the moment, so we got that to worry about, and I just need to get this cleared in case there's any issues with that and I can't drive it again. So just going directly to the big roads, there and back, no fluffing around, and just really keeping an eye on all the temperatures and everything, and pressures too is probably a good idea. Alright, finally we're going to work on the FC again. Something I've had sitting on the shelf for ages, just waiting to put on. I bought a low temp thermostat for this because I worked out stock thermostat doesn't open all the way up until like 95 degrees or something. And then if anyone knows rotaries, they know that 100 degrees is death. So at 100 degrees is when you boil your water or your coolant, and then it blows the seals out. Blows the coolant seals out, obviously. Not your apex seals. Shut up about apex seals, you don't know what we're talking about. So, I've got a low temp thermostat, which I got off Mishimoto. They had a big sale on. It's finished now, and also they don't sell direct to public anymore. So now it's all through shops. And I also finally, after owning this car for so long, bought a oil cap. Since I bought this car 6, 7, whatever years ago, it's had a broken oil cap in it, so the threads are all fucked on it. So finally bought a new one, and it should look pretty nice and match the rest of the car. So gonna start off with this, as I'll probably put clickbait title on here, which isn't clickbait. This is potentially life-saving mod, so this could save your engine, stop it overheating, so that's why we're doing it. So I've heard other things about this. I overheard a mechanic the other day saying that this can change the pressure in your cooling system, which isn't cool, but you know, we'll see how we go. You live and you learn, don't you? But yeah, we'll try to run it a bit cooler. It gets a bit hot for what I like. I've been having some coolant problems anyway, so that's why I've decided to do this now. I've been just putting it off because I've been working on this car at all, obviously. Been working on Corollas. It's back pressuring the coolant system, and it's pushing a heap of coolant out into the overflow and like filling this bottle up. So I've emptied that now. So I was hoping I didn't have a blown engine again with another coolant seal, but I've just pulled out the spark plugs and had a look and turned it over, and no coolant's come out of the engine. So hopefully this will sort it out. I talked to the engine builder and he said sounds like a coolant issue, but my main concern was that I had coolant in the catch can. So I showed you guys my new catch can the other months ago. So I had some coolant in there, and as far as I know, the only things that are going to that, which are two things which I know because I did it, are here, top of the oil filler, and also there's a breather from this side somewhere, I forget where, but I'll find it and tell you. There's a breather on this side of the engine somewhere. I think it's an intake. Let me remember, it might come off the turbo or something. Yeah, there's my new intake, which got modified by Primal. Looks mint. Put the bung on for me to go to the little system here that does a cold start. Got the shitty pod on here from getting defected, but yeah, comes from over here somewhere. But yeah, here's your thermostat in here on a Series 5 engine. Let me find that fucking thing. Where'd it go? I ran it really long way, so it goes around the engine. It goes around. Goes around, baby. Oh, it goes off the top of the block, I remember. Actually, that could be why I'm getting coolant, because this comes off the center housing. Yes. Maybe I'm just an idiot. So, the other breather comes down here, loops around, and comes off the center iron, which I forgot about. So, I don't know exactly what that's breathing, but that could be why I'm getting coolant in there, which is cool. I like that. I was worried that they were both combustion chamber vents. I don't know. Someone will probably tell me I'm an idiot if they watch this and they know about rotaries. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because that's what you do, isn't it? You just try fix things and we'll see if it fixes the problem. And if not, we'll take it back to Pete. We'll let him have a look, won't we? Cool. Right, so I'm going to change out the thingy doodle. Then I'll do that later. Cool. Got a bit of pressurized coolant coming out of there. Let's finally have the weight coming back on it, but yeah. So these don't run a gasket by the looks of it. They just run a rubber gasket or seal type. Goes around the thermostat. So that's cool. That means I don't need a gasket. But yeah, that's where your thermostat is. You just pull that off. It's real easy. I didn't drain the system, so I'm lazy and I'm hoping to save as much coolant as possible because it's pretty fresh. Pull that out. Let's have a look. Doesn't look great, to be honest. Yeah, I'm getting it on the engine, whatever. Engines are made to get wet, right? Cool. So, what does it say on it? No clue. Oh, it's just a little valve bouncing up and down, that's alright. What else? That bit feels alright. I don't know how to open that bit, but yeah, that's cool. Here's a new one. Pretty sure I opened this up on my Instagram story one day, but yeah, very nicely packaged. Bit of a nicer unit than the older ones. Yeah, I think I said before, there's a rubber on there, so that's cool. We'll open up that. It's a lot nicer looking than the other one. Where have I just put that? Oh, I put it back in the engine. I'm fucking losing the plot. But I want to check the video and see if this one has a vent I put in the same spot. There's the old one, there's a new one. So now we just got to hope that this fits, but it's a lot nicer. It says Mishimoto on it. Oh, it says degrees, 68 degrees. So I think this one opens like, or it starts opening a lot lower and fully opens a lot lower. So what I'm trying to do is prevent it getting to that high range, you know, because that's not cool. So that'll go on there. Put in the same way that one was and hopefully it'll fit. But here you can see the difference between the two. This one's kind of a bit nicer made, like with the pressing around here and the kind of stuff like that. I think they're meant to have a bit more technology in them, a little bit more modern than what's in there already, but we'll put that in the same way the other one was. One problem you have with these FCs and Series 5 motors, I believe, is getting the right size. So hopefully this fits. We might have to put it this way. Oh yeah. Won't fit that way because of the casting in there. Cool, and then you just put that on, bang, done. It's actually a super easy mod. You can do this for pretty much any engine, so they obviously offer it for a heap of different cars. So I don't know a lot about this. Someone might say it's wrong. It will affect the rest of your cooling system and the pressure that it runs, but as far as I'm concerned, I just want to get those temps down. So yeah, we've already got the big radiator on. We might get a better radiator eventually if this doesn't help as much, but as far as I've heard, this one I've got isn't too bad as long as it's working properly and clear. But that'll be the next thing. If this doesn't help with the back pressure issue, we might have to get another radiator or just check over everything else. So but yeah, everything's still pretty new and fresh, so shouldn't be having issues like things blocking up. Cool. There's Ruby girl. Hey baby. So another thing is, yeah, we have to work on the FC right now because I don't even have the Corolla. So the Corolla is at the mechanics because I put in the diff the other week. So I put in the T-Series diff, did the swap. It all went really well, apart from getting it in, because diffs with all the links and stuff aren't fun to put in. But got it in eventually, and a terrible noise it was making. So ended up being, well, looks like it is just the bearings. And I didn't want to deal with bearings, so I took it to my local mechanic. The guys that push in all my bushes and stuff for me whenever I need that stuff done. They're sorting that out. They're struggling to get the bearings, but oh well, that's their job at the moment. So yeah, FC, hopefully we can get it fixed, get it running, and I can finally drive it again. But yeah, that's in. Thermostat in. Stuff it. Let's just do it. I've been waiting so long for this. I wasn't going to let myself put this on. Oh, it's so nice. I wasn't going to let myself put this on until I'd done the other things I need to do. So that's in. I still need to check it, but I need to go get some coolant. So I just want to go straight to good coolant. Let's see if this fits. Hopefully. Give it a rub first. Make sure there's no goop in there. Oh, it's a bit better. Look at that. Lovely. Makes it stand out a little bit more, but looks a lot nicer. It's not broken. That one shouldn't break like the last one, so that's good. Lovely packaging. Look at this. Tin foil. Yeah, so it's a Mazda oil cap, black insert. You can get different colored ones like red or something. It's really nice. There's a mill of that. It's pretty good. In my books, much better. What do you reckon? What do you guys prefer? Vote in the comments, as Neil would say. Cool, I like it. It's a bit too bright, but I like it. It's good. What do you think, Schnoobsy? Want a snoozy? You silly dog. Good girl. Cool. All right, that's in. Get some coolant. Want to change that filter. That's annoying me just looking at it, but cool. No, it's stopped now. So I just went over 64 degrees and you could see it open up because a heap of bubbles came out. So on there, you can't see it on this camera, but I got a readout of the exact temperature. Cool. Alright, just got this thing bleeding. Running obviously, waiting until I stop seeing bubbles come out. Got this blocked because I have a problem with this. Always siphoning through the overflow. So I've just got the overflow blocked off with a screwdriver thing. So yeah, just wait till we stop seeing bubbles, give it a little rev, whatever, that's the highest point, so it should actually drain. Yep, just give it a while like that. Get up the temperature obviously, let it flow through all the thermostat. It is running cooler now, so it's sitting around there. It's around 70, it's still climbing though. It's getting up to about 72 now, so we'll see where it slows down or we'll see what happens. Alright, event tomorrow. It's not dark yet, but it's getting darker. Taking the FC. So, that's a fucking good air scoop once the I just realised you can see the filter through there once the headlights are up. It's pretty cool. ADHD. So skirts need to go on. We'll try to mount them properly. I've got a solution in mind. Skirts need to go on, needs to be lowered. Spacers back on because they're essential, obviously, because of this whack fitment, till I put the new arms in the front. That's it, I think. Lower it. Skirts on is the hard one. And yeah. Dog, get out of here. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're so silly. Okay, cool. So yep, gotta do that. Heaps of shit in here. Tables and stuff in the way. So event tomorrow, another Sunday sesh, which we got to stall at. This will be out way after that, so don't worry about that. Yeah, get the FC out. Corolla's not here, so need to work on this. But I think the engine's okay, hopefully, who knows. But we'll see. Oh, I also got to take the cage out, but that's pretty easy. It's not bolted in. So, cool. All right, got on the ramps. In the garage as far as I can. Now the plan. Got hot glue gun. Going to try and hot glue some of those Tough Boy magnets. I've got up here from some jobs that I've done, like signage jobs. Some Tough Boys. That's a thick one, not that one. Heap of these. So these are ceramic disc magnets, 100 pieces. These are pretty cheap. I don't remember, this was like 10 bucks or something, I don't know. You get a heap of them. So they're 4 high. So 4 by whatever, how many that is, makes 100. So I'm gonna try and put one on the car because these boys are aluminium. So they're aluminium. Can't magnetize to these, obviously. If you have a basic concept of metals and magnetism. So possibly the back could magnetize to it, but I might use a magnet anyway just to add to it. And the reason I need to do that is this body kit is a bit fucked and or fake and shit. So it twists a bit. So these plates here are on the piss outwards. So these edges sit out once these are flush. So just need to pull them in. That's the plan. That's what I'm going with. The hot glue gun is so that you don't have to sit there and glue it and tape it and all that shit. So you don't have to sit there and tape it or prop it up until like some Sikaflex or something dries. So hot glue gun should dry in a couple seconds. So that's the plan. Wheels need to come off. We're going to lower it. We're going to try to put the side skirts on the front. Mount them properly. Mount them, lower it, spin it around, and do the back. Lower the back. The back doesn't need to be lowered as much. As you can see, it doesn't look as shit as that. But lower the back that little bit, 20, 30 mil, whatever it was, back to where I had it, and mount the back of the skirts just to make it easier, because it's a bit hard to get the cable ties in there and zip them up and cut them and all that. So with the fronts, I just ended up cable tying them through existing holes. So that's what I originally did. I don't remember what that bit was there for, but I'll do it down anyway. So I just cable tied through these, and that holds the front in, but this bit points out, so that needs to be magnetized in, and the same as the back, even though it's only short. Hello. And yeah, that bit looks all right. The other corner looks shit because it's all fucked up, but let's do it. FC jacked up. So you see the tape line, that's my preferred ride height compared to what it is now. So just a little bit of lowering it's got to do. Even there. That's why you have springs, helper springs. But yeah, so that bottom of that hat should be on top of that tape. That's why it looks so shit. All right, it is 10 o'clock and oh, it finally looks good again. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Cable ties, we got wheels, we got tire shine, we got a clean car, we got rust and bubbles, we got shit, we got magnets. So I put some magnets in here, ended up changing that a little bit. They stick out a bit, so they stick out a bit. I ended up using bigger ones than I wanted to because they were stronger, and just use them in the front. But whatever, I don't fucking care anymore. Just gotta get shit done sometimes, you know? So, cool. It's looking better again. Kind of like the car again now that it's got skirts on it and lowered again. But knowing me, I'll probably get defected, so whatever. Fuck the dogs.